Ultra low is if you want high interaction and engagement. Normal has higher quality and is best if you don't want to interact with your audience. Low is if you want to interact in a near real time. So we'll try low.
Okay.
So we'll try low. Someone said, no, the anniversary's already over. No, we literally just said it. Will take a second. Automatics, captions, and low latency can't be used at the same time. So I guess we can't have automatic captions then. I'll have to turn that off, unfortunately. Okay. So let me try... Okay. New. I guess I have to do a completely new stream. This is stupid, so I hope this works. Reuse settings. Next. I guess I'll change it to We're Back for the name. And this will also probably change the... I wish I knew this. It's probably going to change the link. That's annoying.
Okay, I will tell the chat. Perhaps.
Yeah.
I wish we would have just waited a sec, but oh well.
Waited a sec.
To see if it would have caught up.
Oh, I see.
Because it's going to probably make a completely new...
There it is. Everyone's jumped over. Hello, 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 hello.
It looks like you're ready. Click go live. Okay, here we go.
I think we are
Cassiroll live stream. Yeah.
Oh, did it not end the stream before?
No, we're on a new one.
I did try.
We're on
Cassiroll
Cassiroll live stream.
Oh, I don't want that one. No.
Well,
that
that's too
away.
bad. We're on Cassiroll live stream.
That's stupid.
Too bad.
Okay, well give me a sec to change the name.
Time to talk about some delicious casserole.
Give me a check to change the name. It must have automatically gone to a different thing. It says I'm live on 2 different things right now.
Oh.
How am I live on 2 different things?
The We're Back is also going.
Oh. Well, how do I... This is really confusing. Hold on.
Cassie, what are you doing?
I don't know. Don't say what you're doing. You're going to stress me out. How do I turn this one to not?
Everyone's in Cassiroll live stream.
I know. We'll just keep it on this one, and I'll move, and I'll turn the other one off. But you have to give me a second because I don't know what's going on. Also, this may not fix anything, so we may have to switch anyway because I don't know what settings are on that one, so it may have the exact same problem. No, this one's low latency, so this one should be okay if I can change the settings.
Everyone's saying it's a good stream so far. It's not lagging anymore.
Mr. Balkadon says
okay, I'm ending here.
Lagging.
I'm ending here, and now we're here. And now I'm gonna go to my studio again. Guys, next time we're gonna wait. We're not gonna try and start a new stream, because...
well, it was the latency
like
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can just keep going.
Well, yeah, you guys can keep talking for a second, because I gotta figure out why this isn't working. So this...
Thank you for the support, Yuri Wolfwalker.
Yeah, thank you for your support, everyone.
And Zyree looking sad at each other.
Well, they're sad at each other sometimes.
That's not the anniversary. That's gonna be confusing for people being like, what is this?
Well, you can change the thumbnail afterwards.
No, because while it's live, that's the thumbnail. So people might not click.
They're sad about the technical issues.
It'll be fine.
Yes, the audience members are being very kind and supportive and wishing you well.
Watermelon or cherries? I pick watermelon.
Okay, let's try this one.
I like cherries more. I don't really like watermelon. It's like just mush to me.
Cherries taste like medicine to me. We gotta go to war. Unacceptable.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
People can't have different tastes.
It's taken a second to save. I'll put the new link in announcements.
There it is.
Once this saves. Well, my screen's frozen, so hold on.
Don't worry about breaking the rule. That wasn't a big deal.
You good. You must pick bad watermelons. I don't know. I don't pick watermelons.
Can someone else, just to make sure they have the right link, copy the link and paste it in announcements for me and @Sparks again with the new link?
Sure.
You don't pick watermelons off watermelon trees?
No.
Imagine it's better.
There we go.
Tea or coffee? I guess I prefer coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. You can put shit in coffee to make it taste better. With tea, it's just kind of bland no matter what.
Yeah, I don't like tea.
Okay.
Everybody around me likes tea, and I'm like, what? I don't like tea.
I'm pretty sure tea is health.
This discussion. Ripley called tea like dirt. Do you hear this?
It's just dirt in a potato sack. It's fucking nasty.
It's fucking great. Dirt water. What the fuck do you think Mountain Dew Baja Blast is, huh?
Not true.
Ripley loves Baja Blast, by the way.
I do. It's good. It's tasty.
Cliff Coy Jr. says, "Wait, Ripley, what about watermelon dew?"
That one's my favorite. I like that one.
Watermelon flavor is different from eating watermelons, to be fair.
Mhm.
It used to be watermelon themed, like color themed.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore, huh?
Not anymore.
Coffee's dirt water, so I mean, well, coffee is better tasting dirt water is the thing.
Okay.
Dog or cat? Cat.
Sorry, you guys got to give me some more seconds because I got to copy the description over.
You're good. We're going. Don't worry.
I
like
used to
cats.
prefer
I have a stupid cat.
but yeah, I think I'd say cat now.
I have a dumb little cat.
Chocolate or Skittles?
Depends. Chocolate's so broad. Chocolate's such a
Yeah.
broad, like, that could be any chocolate.
I mean, if it's like the best, I'd take the best chocolate over Skittles.
Really? Orange.
Yeah, orange Skittles are the best.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Cat or coffee? I don't know.
I'd rather drink coffee
Coffee.
than a cat, if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I don't want to drink a cat, I guess. So I guess I'll take coffee. God, I keep wanting to walk down to the local Caribou hashtag not sponsored and good, and I keep wanting to just walk down and get it.
Oh my god, I don't know what that was. Is Caribou cheaper than Starbucks, or are they about the same?
I think I've got it all good now. Everything's named to try and get everyone to jump over to the new thing. I unlisted the one that we started for 5 seconds on the other thing when we were double live streaming. That was confusing. I didn't know it would just automatically jump me to an old live. That's like 5 years old that we're on that I've quickly changed, but you know.
That is so strange.
That is-
Hey.
What do Spanish Shui? Oh,
Okay,
that's
let's do
it.
Patreon questions.
Okay.
So we answered the first one, and now we're gonna go to the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, so if everyone were to go to Jack Rabbit's Keep, what other animal could they have been? Oh, so I read this wrong the first time. I thought they meant the players and not the PCs, but I think they instead meant like if you, the players, got to pick what your animals were, which we might have actually gotten before as a question, but I can't quite recall. We may have talked about it
I
before.
don't think so.
It may not have been on a
I don't
stream.
remember.
I'll go first. I raised my hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if like I have to choose Shui's keep animal, honestly, I'd probably still choose like a rabbit. Not, I mean, Shui's what is he? A jackalope? Jackrabbit? What is he?
Jackrabbit? Jackalope? Yeah.
Yeah, he would have just been a little bunny. So I thought Cassie making him one was pretty accurate. I thought it was a good choice. So I honestly wouldn't change Shui's keep animal. Now if I Mizan or in the keep as an animal, it's tough. Like I feel like I wouldn't be anything with scales. Like I'd probably have wings because like I don't feel like walking like enough as it is. Like,
You want to be lazy. You're still an action though.
so-
Like your wings would be a part of your body, so it'd be like flapping
I
your
know,
arms
but at
all the
least my
time.
feet won't hurt. All the
You're not even the animal anyway. You just look like it.
True.
My favorite animal is ostrich, but I don't want to be an ostrich. Like, you know what I mean? So
I know
maybe
what
I'd
you
be like,
mean.
maybe I'd be like, maybe I'd be like,
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say penguin. Penguins can't fly.
They sure can't.
I don't know. I'd be like a parrot or something.
A parrot? Yeah, that
That's
tracks.
fun.
What the fuck do you mean?
I just, you know,
That
it tracks. That's all I'm saying.
Ripley's agreeing with you.
It just makes sense that you'd be a parrot. What about you, Jay? Chosen for Avayath?
What else would I have chosen for Avayath? I feel like an eagle could be pretty fitting.
Oh,
That does fit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any animal you associate with, like, I don't know, a powerful guardian type. Maybe a lion.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Just like big, strong animal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like a whale.
But what would your animal be, Jay?
If it were me, I would be a funny bunny.
Oh,
Would you? Would
no,
you really?
I'm probably a blue jay.
you're not. Funny.
Oh. What about you, Shayna?
So the funny thing is that before Chosen Ones and before all these jokes about this animal, I would have said a bear for Theo because of Theo's can have like a rather parental nature and also can get sassy. So I would say if I had chosen, I probably would have chosen a bear, which is funny now because I'm glad that I wouldn't have, because I think a fox really fits Theo. So I'm glad that I didn't choose. I'm glad that I have a fox for Theo. And as for myself, similarly to Zen, I wouldn't want to be my favorite animal. It's like my favorite animal, but it's not, very me. As for what animal I would be, I really don't want to think about that. I opt not to answer.
Okay. I don't see Brandy as anything other than a wolf. The only, I probably would have chosen that just because Brandy's so, edgy that, of course he'd be a fucking wolf. There's no, there's no way he wouldn't.
He was the one I picked first, so.
Yeah, exactly. You look at Brandy and you're like, yeah, that dude, if he had a persona, it'd be a wolf. Come on.
I think it was specifically because you had a song in his playlist, or that you mentioned was in Brandy's playlist, which is the I Know I'm a Wolf song or whatever, and I think that was what influenced my choice to make him a wolf, was because I already had an idea based on that, so.
Yeah, exactly. But if it wasn't a wolf, and if I didn't think of wolf immediately, which I would have, probably say a bull because of his horns.
Ooh,
Probably say
cool.
he'd probably be a bull or something. For me, the animal I'd be owl, because I like owls. They're my favorite
Heck
bird.
yeah. It's funny, everybody picked a bird.
Yeah, we're all birds.
Not me.
Um,
I would be a
A
bobcat.
bunch of bird brains. Yeah, you would.
What'd you be?
Bobcat, that's my favorite animal.
Yeah, and I'll go down every single character in Chosen Ones and say what their other animal would have been.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was from J Reedy 16516, and we'll move on to the next question. And this one is from Mr. Bakudan, and it says, I know we have discussed the inspirations of the PCs quite a few times, but as we are seeing more of the NPCs, I'd love to know the inspirations behind people like Essence, Magic Man, King Larkspur, and Abaddon. I hesitated to say it. It's ingrained in me now too.
You're gonna get smote. You're gonna get smited.
You're gonna take psychic damage.
Your brain's gonna explode.
So I will do these specific ones here just because they were listed, but Essence was based on nothing actually in particular. She was one of the characters that I asked people, hey, give me a class and a race and I will build an NPC around that. So she was built for this game. She wasn't a pre-existing character. And for that, I rolled random personality traits, which you can do bonds and ideals and stuff like that. And from those, I developed a backstory for her. So I would say if I had to like try and pinpoint, it wasn't an intentional inspiration, but she's very like Mean Girls-esque if you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
She's a lot like the plastics. So is that what they're called?
Plastics.
I think they are. Yeah, she's a lot like that is how I play her, but it wasn't like an intentional, I'm gonna make Regina George a character, you know. It's just if I had to figure out where the inspiration probably came from, that's my guess, because it wasn't intentional. For the Magic Man, he was based off a song that my mom used to always play as a kid. It's a really old song, so you probably wouldn't know it. So yeah, that's what he was based on, and I just think funny. It's not like, oh, it's so good and only good people know this song, but like, you know,
it's so good.
It's just a really old song. And because my mom would just play her favorites in the car all the time, and so he also had some like, I would also say probably, just a little bit of like the atmosphere, I guess, of how I felt like watching The Wizard of Oz first as a kid, where like you don't know what the wizard actually is, and I thought he was really cool until you actually meet him. But you know, like that's kind of the idea. People ask a lot or compare him a lot to what the fuck, the guy from the Has-Been thing, Has-Been Hotel at something, I don't remember, he's Radio Demon or something, and he was not intended to be based on that at all. I don't actually personally like Has-Been. Like, if you like it, that's fine. I'm not going against anyone who likes media that I don't. I think it's literally
just the voice.
It's just because he uses the voice mod, but it was not intentional. Yeah. And yeah, it was not an intentional choice for him to be similar just because he uses a radio. There's a lot of radio demons that are used in a lot of media, and he's not a demon, so, but yeah.
Or is he? Okay.
He's not even a god.
He's not. He's a performer.
That's the name. Yeah.
And I also just like, I like the like showy theater kid kind of vibe of like a really high power person. Again, I don't really know where the inspiration from that comes from because I made him before Has-Been came out. Because I did see the first episode. I think that's all there is. But I made him before that. So I don't necessarily know radio stuff to make a character. So, you know, there's probably something in there. I just can't remember. King Larkspur, I have no idea. I have no fucking idea where that guy came from. He just came somewhere out of my brain. I have zero idea. And Abaddon, it's kind of funny because the strongest thing about like the Abaddon and Arthur situation is because I really like dating Phantom as a kid. I've always really liked that. I would obsessively watch that growing up. And so I was just like, I'm gonna do it myself. It's my turn to do it.
My turn.
So that's kind of where his like stuff kind of got based on. And I've had Abaddon as a character for a while. But yeah. Arthur was... I constructed Abaddon's backstory for this game, if that makes sense. And that's where Arthur came out of. But yeah. Yeah. We'll move on to the next one. Someone was asking for a good strategy to find players that doesn't require putting themselves out there too much, and that is from anonymous, to be clear. So this is a question that it's like, if you're struggling to find players, like putting yourself out there, the easiest is to just approach the people that you already know and talk to. Yeah. That's really the best that I can say on that front. I don't know if anyone else has any other advice.
If you're willing to DM, it's real easy to find a group.
Yeah.
It's also, there's a ton of, it's pretty easy to find groups to join online if you're willing to pay money. If you're not willing to pay, quite a bit harder. You'll probably, if you're like new to D&D, comic book stores often have like D&D introduction sessions that they do here and there. Just looking around on the internet, look at your local comic book stores, you might be able to find something.
Yep. As for, I guess, my advice, Discord is a wonderful, fantastic place to find groups of people that might match whatever criteria you're looking for. There are a couple of like D&D servers that you might be able to join that are looking for players or looking for DMs or what have you. And a lot of them can be I mean, you might be able to find some like really nice gems. Of course, when you're doing stuff like that, you never know like who you're gonna end up playing with. But in that case, just kind of use your best judgment. If it doesn't like work out, don't feel bad about like kind of leaving. Everyone has like their own like little horror stories.
Yeah.
About D&D.
I do just personally highly encourage, if you are a minor, to try and play with other minors and not stranger adults on the internet if you can. Just because, that's where horror stories happen. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, scheduling is gonna be an issue. I feel like that's.
it will be an issue. This is not an optional part of the D&D experience.
Yeah,
Scheduling
so-
will be a problem.
If you run into, issues with scheduling, don't give up. Like, I'm sure it will work out eventually. Just give us some
Sure.
time, right?
Yeah.
I've not been shy about the fact of like noting in the server that I'm like, yeah, the episodes may be coming out weekly, but we haven't played in 5 months. Like it's happened
Not
on several
anymore.
occasions where we, for almost a full year, we only played once a month, and then we had a couple big hiatuses where it was like we didn't play for 3 months because we didn't record in the summer one year. Again, we didn't record in the summer one year, so there was another 3-month hiatus, and then we basically had a 6-month hiatus because we went on hiatus for 3 months in the summer, did one session, and then took another like 3-month hiatus. So it happens.
Yep.
But we've gone off the deep end of that question.
Oh, yeah, Bubby also mentioned Stry is a DM. You can message Stry if you want a game.
Yeah,
From
professional.
the Chosen One's Discord.
There are professional DMs who also offer free sessions on occasion if you want to like test it out before trying to form your own group. But yeah, next question comes from Big Red Dog, which is, what episode or moment of release content have you each rewatched the most or enjoyed rewatching the most?
I have listened to the season 2 finale.
I have
a
the same
bunch of
answer.
times. Yeah, like just a bunch of times. I thought it was really well done. The anxiety, just the complete tonal shift, and like the story, and like it was really well done. I've also re-listened to the court scene a bunch of times, where Shui was found guilty of murder.
Good times.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
great times. And just recently there what was it? Hold on. It was,
Zen, you sound like you might be getting a little far away from your mic, just so you know.
I turned my head away from the mic, that's why.
Okay.
Just recently I've been kind of re-listening to like the first episode of season 3 as well. Just saying like what happened after the finale was just yeah.
So good.
Yeah, really good.
Understandable.
Okay, that's me.
For me, I re-listened to the first Brandy versus Avayath fight duel. Whatever, you know what I mean. Fight duel, like more than once. And that episode also has everyone's speeches. I like to go back and like remember why everyone started this journey in the first place.
Yay.
It's in season 2 finale.
Yeah.
Answer is a little bit sort of skewed in a way, and patrons will know why that is. But I will say, of course, season 2's finale, one of the best things about this series is, it's a popular for a reason. I love to re-listen to a lot of Brandy and Theo scenes. Pretty obviously, I have a lot of investment in them, and the confession scene is good, but also the scene where it was after after Brandy sees the statue in the Hall of Infamy, you know, that talk that they had in their hotel room afterwards, it's enough to make me cry on multiple occasions. Anyway, so other than that, I have re-listened to the first, we'll say the first 9 episodes. Like, I've listened through them many times now, on repeat, to be honest. And patrons will know why that is, but we can't say why that is. So yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I probably watched the first couple of episodes.
I was gonna say, like, if I'm talking like realistically, I've watched the first episode the most because I've pulled clips from that the most, and I've also gone back to it the most, and also had to redo the whole episode. And when we first made it, I listened to it like 10 times before I went live to make sure it was good. So the unfun answer is the first episode, but not have the most interest in is the season 2 finale.
I do choose to go back and re-listen to the first, 10 episodes, though.
Oh, it drives me crazy when I listen to it. I'm like, that's a mouth sound I would have taken out. That pause was too long. That whole tangent shouldn't be there. Like,
it's understandable, but it's nice to go back and see, like, these characters' first reactions to, like, how their world is going to work from now on, and, like, them learning about what chosen ones are and what fallen ones are and all the history and all that. It's just fun.
Did you answer that?
Listening. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Finale. It's the same. Everybody already said my answers. Brandy and Theo in season 2 finale. Judge fight. Those are the ones.
Yeah, the scene where Avayath is friend-zoning Rue for 5 minutes is painful for me to listen to. Partially because that was me being oblivious, and partially because I can like put myself in my past self's shoes, like remembering how nervous I was being the first up to start role-playing on a podcast.
You came in serious and in character. You were not ready for me to try to flirt with you. Like, I don't know why it is that Jay enters a game and I'm like, here is your designated NPC that is your romantic interest, because this is not the first time this happens. So, yeah. And I did it episode 1 this time. Literally the first scene of the campaign, I was like, here is your romantic interest NPC, Jay. Like, you didn't ask for it, and here it is.
Well, I kind of asked for to have an NPC in my backstory. I just didn't say it was romantic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I said they were church buddies, and I was like,
literally
oh, okay,
also
so
didn't even decide until we were doing the scene that she probably was interested in you. And then we were like role-playing it, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, no, she'd probably be trying to flirt with you. Like, and your responses were just very funny.
It's iconic, to be honest.
Yeah.
We could gather a couple of our churchgoers.
That's still so funny to me.
The pause is so good. And I still quote "go off" in Avayath's voice, like anyone around me will know what that is.
On the first episode.
Even if they don't know Avayath, I still say it. It's just a habit.
Yeah, we will do the next question then. Is when Chosen Ones reaches its series finale, will there be another campaign, another story? And that is from, I'm gonna butcher this. Yeah.
No, we're done after this. Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No. We are planning another campaign. If you're in our Discord server, I've talked about it. Not what the campaign is about, but I've talked about it quite a lot. That we have at least 3 more campaigns in this specific setting, and then if we get all those done, and if I decide after those 3 that I want this game has gone, that's like a decade from now. So.
Yeah, we don't need to plan farther ahead than that.
We don't need to plan farther than that. I'll be lucky if we finish all the games that I want to do in the Chosen Ones world, and we can also see. We might do 1 or 2 more games and decide we don't want to do this world anymore. We might do 1 or 2 more games and decide that we don't want to do podcasting anymore. We can't predict that far in the future. We do currently still have the idea that we want to do the next one. And unless something gives me the same joy that Chosen Ones does, I will probably still be making podcasts of some kind, and it'll probably be being some tabletop RPG of some kind because it's nice to make stuff with your friends. This is so cool. I usually think about things in the perspective of, oh, Zen's gonna love this moment, or Shayna's gonna really like that I did this, or Ripley's gonna think this is funny. I can't think of another thing to add for Jay. I'm sorry.
Jay's gonna experience this.
Jay's really gonna go through it.
Jay's gonna have a bad time, and I can't wait. No.
Traumatize him. My favorite.
If your goal is to make your friends upset, then get a new goal.
But no, like it's that idea of like I'm creating something. Yes, I am excited for an audience to hear it, but I'm more excited usually for the players to be able to re-experience it with all the editing and stuff, because they know there is a big difference between what we record and what ends up in the final product and how it ends up being. So it does feel a lot different. The music is different. There's sound design. A lot gets cut out. So the people
And
who
we just forget.
Yeah. And we just forget.
Tell me there aren't 50 minutes of silence in the middle of the battles that we have?
It's not silence. It's a lot of being like, no, I'll hit you if I do that,
No,
or
I
I'm
know,
sorry, that
I
spell
know.
doesn't work that way. Hold on, let me look that up. That's usually what gets cut from combat.
Yeah.
When people, we've had people over the years be like, why do you cut stuff out? And I'm like, because it's boring. You don't
Yeah,
want
because
to
it
hear
sucks.
it.
That's
Some
why.
It's,
Literally, it sucks. And yeah, that's the...
be like, I didn't even know you cut stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because it literally is not important. That's the point, is that things get cut because they aren't important and don't add anything.
Yep.
And they are funny, though. We do have a lot of bloopers. We probably have like 3 or 4 hours worth of bloopers at this point.
Yeah, go to the Patreon to receive bloopers.
Okay, what's the next one? Okay, how do you come up with and balance sparks? And that is from Bubby. This is a short answer. I wing it, and I hope for the best.
Don't worry, I'll answer this one for you. So, no, I'm just kidding.
I wing it, and I hope for the best is the honest-to-God answer. Sometimes I base the sparks on abilities that exist, but I will let you in on a little secret that NPCs usually, unless I know they're about to style thing for their sparks, usually I have an idea of how their spark works, and until they are in a combat style setting, I don't usually put actual, like, parameters around it. Because I want it to be fair when they're in combat, but if it's just like, for example, one of the sparks that have never come up is that the cook has a preservation spark for food, and I've never been like, you can do this 3 times per short or long rest, like, I've never thought about it in a mechanical sense until it becomes to a point where they might be in combat. So certain characters do have things with their sparks that... Also, they're different. So, like, sometimes if you're out of character, they can do more things for flavor for the sake of the story and not making things super bogged down with trying to explain mechanics. But, like, once you enter combat, they have very specific rules about how their sparks work, typically. And I'm learning. I'm bad at balancing the player sparks, but, it's fine.
I don't know what you mean by that.
They're fun, and they're having a good time.
We only
You could be
use
like
them
Shui.
every so often.
I mean,
Yeah.
Shui has
anyways.
had a weak spark.
Yeah, because you're a fucking god, so you do have a weaker spark. You had to be nerfed somehow.
Yeah. The only one with like a really, really, really good spark.
Yeah, you're a god.
I'm nerfing you because you have a fancy sword that you can't use yet. The actual reason was because you are a god.
Oops.
So I'm like, because Shui has to use spell slots. I think Shui is the only person who has to use spell slots to use his. But yeah, we have 3 backup questions that we approved to go through. So some people's backup questions we didn't put on this list. Well, one of them is because we have a private Q&A that's coming up, and we might just answer some of them there. But this one is from Mr. Bakudan, and it was like, do you have plans for any further merch designs? Maybe. Right now, we're trying to find an alternative to Redbubble because it sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Redbubble blows. So if you
If
have
you didn't know.
recommendations,
Yeah.
give us recommendations for merch shops that you shop from. Because Redbubble fucking sucks.
Yeah,
It
if
does.
you didn't know, Redbubble recently made a change to where we basically get no money from the merch anymore.
Yeah, someone
Yeah,
bought a
it's
shirt
awesome.
recently, and we got 0 from that because of the fees. We literally made
Yeah.
0 money, and we'd have to buy or sell a crap ton of shirts to be able to even hit the fee amount. So it's not like, we just don't sell enough for what they do. So
Yep.
yep. Okay.
But maybe someday.
Maybe someday. but we kind of just make merch when we want to. There's not really any like plans besides we need to find a new place is the main thing.
I just sat down and drew like half the merch designs in the merch store in just a day because I was bored.
And I recently chose a few stills from the new opening to use as little merch things, which was fun to do.
Hell yeah.
Yep. This is just a clarification from a recent, in the last couple episodes that happened from Bubby, which is when a spark becomes a chosen one or a fallen one, their spark is enhanced a lot, but their spark upgrade, can their spark upgrade from there? Like Fallen Theo mentioned that his spark became what it is after he and others were attacked, but he was already a chosen one when that happened, and then it changed again, or was that change that made him a chosen one, or subsequently a fallen one? So Theo was a chosen one before he was a fallen one. Basically, I think I actually explained it in the episode, is that your spark only changes when you are a chosen one if you become a fallen one, which is normally how they determine if someone has become a fallen one, is their spark dramatically changes. So Theo's in that universe was he could originally heal any ailment, and that turned into the poison spark instead, the poison's chosen one ability that he had. So that is the only time a chosen one's version of what they had before. So it's not the same level, but it's still strong. Like Wynn has anti-magic, like basically on his person, like anything he touches and nothing can affect him. But before it was like a radius that he could, set off on a whole town. But now that he's not a chosen one, it's like just him. And then we were going to briefly talk about this, not too much for this last question, which is after the fighting is said and done, what will each character do when they retire? Set up shop somewhere, settle down in a peaceful town, or would they continue to adventure? And that is from Alkaline Wig. And this is our last Patreon question. The basic answer of this is we kind of have to get there to be able to answer it. We don't know. We have ideas. But, yeah. They've talked in-game about what their plans are at this point, but we still have to play it out,
Yeah.
So things may change by the time we get to the end about what people want to do. Basically.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to add to that before we start doing live questions?
I mean, I don't think it's spoilery to say Avayath is probably going to do what he plans to do. He's probably going to keep adventuring.
Yeah.
Just because of the way he is.
Until he loses his legs. Or whatever.
His legs!
Until he loses his legs, dude.
Yeah. His legs are gradually going to fade away as he keeps adventuring, and then they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah. If it all goes well, then Theo would, of course, like to stay with Brandy.
Yep. Me and Shane have already written out extensive information on what happens with Brandy and Theo after they're done adventuring. There's a whole family tree. You don't understand.
Yeah, there's like generations worth.
Yeah. You'd truly, they have like great grandkids at this point. Like it's, yeah. So,
I think it's great. It might be great. Well,
They have grandkids at the very least.
Yeah.
As for Shui, I don't know. He's a new character. I made him specifically for this game, and when it comes to Shui, I do a lot of things, most things, almost everything in the moment. I don't really like plan anything out. It's just kind of like in the moment. So I don't know.
Shui's gonna adventure.
He's gonna probably.
He's a little adventurer.
I think he grew up kind of sort of sheltered. So he doesn't know a lot of things, he doesn't have like worldly experience. So I think he'd really enjoy exploring the world and like learning new things. It doesn't necessarily have to be like adventuring, like but I think he definitely wants to learn more and I think help people.
Sorry, I chuckled because I saw Cassie adjusting the
did it tell you as I was updating it?
Yeah, so we can all see as you're updating it the way you're typing it out.
I thought it didn't change it until I hit OK.
No, we could see it going. I saw you type to caking or whatever. And
No.
You were really trying to figure it out. It's okay.
Well, I was like, okay, I was thinking to myself, I was like, it's got to fit, because answering Patreon questions barely fit. So I was like, I gotta make it shorter.
Mhm.
Then someone in the cast will just put those in our final list as we get them, and we'll answer them. I don't see any
So if you
yet.
got questions, put them in the chat. Until
Well, the
then,
chat
we're just
does
gonna
tend to
talk.
lag behind us.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, you're right, Mr. Bakudan, the owl bear farm. That's our personal thoughts on what they would do later. For chosen ones, we don't know, but yeah. For Brandy and Theo.
Should we ever meet his dad? Which
Who
one?
knows? Yeah, which dad? There are quite a
There's
few
few.
dads.
Shui has a good few parental
Yeah.
figures that could be there.
Okay, first question here. Within the campaign, will we learn the rules of who and how people have sparks, like the reason why gods don't have them, and what determines whether you can have one? So this has kind of actually been answered in a roundabout way. The reason gods don't have sparks is because they don't have souls the way that mortals do. They are something that are separate from mortals. So they kind of form in a different way. People came from... The way the Magic Man talks about it is like the people came from all the same place, like soul-wise. All sparks came from the Black Heart. Gods did not come from there. They came from a separate thing. Which, who knows what that is. So yeah, basically, gods can't have sparks because they don't have souls. And sparks are something that even gods don't fully understand because they can affect gods. Which is why it's so strange that Shui, who is a mortal but also a god, but has like a weird artificial spark that even like one of the greatest gods in the world was like, I don't know what the fuck you are. You know, he's like a really weird thing. But yeah, that's the basic answer to like that. And the rules are will get a spark. You are kind of selected, I guess, for your spark to awaken, but you have to have experienced trauma for you to be selected. There's like some really complicated stuff behind the scenes that I don't know if or when it will get answered. It will not get answered this campaign for sure. And it's just kind of, I don't like to answer things because sometimes things get retconned or changed. So I try not to answer things too directly until they happen in show, just to avoid retconning later.
Let's keep
And then,
going.
yeah. How can I realistically and creatively include PC's stories into a campaign like the amazing way you do it? Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm reading questions weird. I'm processing as I'm reading.
You sure are.
I mean, so for the way that we did our stuff is they came to me with their stories that they wanted, and then I integrate them into the campaign, and they change parts of their backstories to fit the world. So it's a collaborative thing. Like, these are not, this sounds a little weird, but made and adjusted to fit this campaign. They have a story outside of Chosen Ones. And Ripley and Shayna just adjusted them to be in this campaign. Shui was made for this campaign, and Avayath is another character where his story can be changed according to the game that he is in. So that's kind of, you know, it's a give and take. I think everyone, except for maybe Ripley, we designed an NPC together just because Brandy's backstory is weird. So, but everyone else, we designed an NPC together, and that also helps people kind of, you know, feel integrated. And then like Jay, gave me a set of rules where he's like, I have to have a god that's against necromancy. And I was like, okay, here's a god that you could interpret it as they're against necromancy. And that is the one that he picked. So yeah.
The best way to do it is remember that you're not writing your story for everyone else for your players to experience. You're writing a collaborative story with your players as the main characters, and they're going to want to pursue stuff that's important to them. And you should do your best. Like, while you can still have your parts of the story that you want to tell, your focus as a storyteller should be on the characters themselves and the ones that your friends are playing.
You want to be motivated as a DM, but you also want your players to be motivated to keep playing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and the end of it, as long as you're working together and keep each other's feelings in mind.
I think Jay was saying something.
I just said well put.
Oh, sorry. Don't make fun of my laugh. So the next question was, does Brandy age? Great.
I don't know.
Great question.
I don't
Anyway.
fucking know. I'm scared. I don't know.
Great question.
I hope he does.
Anyway.
I don't know. Moving on. I don't know. Listen, everything I wrote about Brandy in the game has come out now. Everything I wrote. So anything else that comes out about Brandy is things that I don't know anymore.
Oops.
It's all Cassie
Exciting.
now.
Oops. Oh, I will also just say, kind of jumping off with this and jumping off the last question, is a lot of people do really like it. You don't have to make your games entirely like we do, where they're so super important, but people do like to feel important in games. So making the PCs feel
Yes, they are the
like
main
they
characters.
are integral in the world, and they aren't just watching everything happen around them. They are a part of the things that are happening. They have a say in what is happening. They are involved in things, whether the PCs like that they are involved or not. The players should like that they are involved, but the PCs are a part of it whether they like it or not. Because that's how you do the game. That's how you make the game fun, and how you make the players and the PCs continue to grow and stay together throughout the game. Otherwise, they can fall apart if they don't feel like there is any reason to stay together and to pursue things.
Yep.
But yeah. So the next question was oh wait, I already did that one.
Yes? No.
Sorry. Before he became the powerful being we know him as right now.
Who knows?
That's a great and interesting way that you worded that question that I can't answer. There are
Who
parts of this. There are
knows?
parts of this question that are already fundamentally incorrect that I can't answer. But
Who knows?
who knows?
You know.
Yeah, fun question.
Uh.
Does Shui's goddess mom love him? Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh my God.
Moving on.
Maybe we'll find out one day.
Maybe we'll
Maybe
find
you'll
out
find out
someday,
one day.
perhaps. Who knows? Moving on.
How did you as a DM make Sparks? So the idea for Sparks originally came from actually Avatar. Well, so the idea was originally like you become a chosen one, and then Sparks kind of developed from that. But I also just really liked just having people have like special abilities, and that just comes from media in general. There's so many forms of media where everyone has like a special ability or something like that, and it was more fun if everyone kind of had the potential for this, and it was just dependent on your circumstances for whether you like awaken it or not. So so a lot of different sources for where Sparks themselves came from, but chosen ones came from the Avatar originally was the idea, but I didn't want the Avatar to die to become the chosen ones to die to become the next chosen one, so I put like a time limit on them basically, because I also thought it'd be fun to have like mentors. Yeah, so the next one here after that is, if you had to estimate, how much would you say sessions consist of just screwing around? Take that however you want, I guess. A lot.
Yeah.
Like I said,
3 hours out of the 4. No.
Sometimes.
typically 1/3 to a half of an episode that is released is cut. So one episode, if an episode is 40 minutes long, it is usually over an hour in the recording, like an hour 10, an hour 20, an hour 30, sometimes even. If it's combat, it gets cut down a lot. Regular sessions that don't have combat don't get cut down quite as much. But we do goof around where a lot of times the cast sometimes will also say things that the audience isn't supposed to know yet, and I have to cut them. I'm like, guys, you can't reference that. Like, the audience isn't supposed to know about that.
Like she
Like
was
in-
drunk stuff, remember?
Shut up. It hasn't come up yet. I'm gonna do it. Shut up.
But yeah, so a lot gets
That's the
cut.
next thing we record. Anyway,
Okay, let me look here.
coming soon. Ripley DM'd one shot.
At the beginning of every like session, we do like a little clap thing, and there's like at least like 5 minutes.
There's
worth
so
of
many
people.
bloopers
5
of
minutes
clapping.
worth of
Literally,
clapping,
the
yeah.
episode for next week, we do not even start recording, and I have 3 bloopers.
Yeah.
We have not even started the acting or it's just me being like, okay, everyone, let's get ready to clap, and then us just fucking around for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next thing is,
We
when
just
making a
can't clap.
campaign, how do you incorporate every PC and NPC and make sure they each have a balanced and fun effect on the world? I'm trying my best. Like,
I mean, yeah, just like the previous question, just make sure your PCs are at the forefront of the story, and NPCs are just that, they're side characters.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make your NPC the most important character in the world. They should be
yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that'd be fucking stupid if you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Like if
kidding,
they were the
stop.
main character or something. It's
Well,
a
he's not
mechanic. It's a
anymore.
mechanic world thing, so he's
Yeah.
not anymore. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so basically, just make sure your PCs are at the forefront, and it's okay to have NPCs that are like partially a focus. But just make sure like whatever you're doing with NPCs is serving to inform the story on your PCs. That's usually the most important.
I will say, like, in terms of, like, yeah, there are a lot of focus on certain NPCs, like Arthur, but usually the PCs seek him out. Otherwise, he would just be in his lab all the time, like, by himself, because that's who he is, and that's what he does. So he was not originally going to go on the spa trip until, I think it was Ripley, was like, we should, like, try and help him be better, and
Well, yeah,
brought
that's
him...
what Brandy said he was gonna do.
Yeah, and brought him with on the spa trip. So it's like stuff like that. And there's things that happen in the future episodes as well where sometimes NPCs do speak up and volunteer to go on things, but if the PCs really talk them down and the players very clearly did not want them to go, they can also not. Like originally, they were supposed to have a mentor go with them for the ghost ship mission, and the PCs said, no, we want to leave, we don't want to wait, so they went without one. I didn't force them to stay. That would have gone so
A little
differently.
trip together. Yeah.
So the next one is, will any of the cast get another Spark evolution? I will just say yes, and we will move on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have a whole season's worth
Yeah,
of
but-
stuff.
Yep, you have a whole
Prepared.
season of potential things happening.
Good question though. Fun.
Yeah. With Chosen Ones being around for 3 years now, what do you feel or hope the legacy of the podcast will have on its viewers? I mean, there's a ripple effect to things. I'm not gonna be like, Chosen Ones is gonna make someone president. Like, also, like, I don't know if I want that.
I hope Chosen One makes someone president. I don't think that's what they meant by that. I think they mean, what do you hope, like,
I was
the
doing
impact
it
it has on people is?
in a bigger example. I know what they mean.
Okay.
I was being silly. Okay.
Okay.
Silly.
But like, you know, I don't know. I just want people to have enjoyed it. I, as a creator, obviously want people to see my stuff, but there is, you know, there's a lot of give and take to that. Being an artist and wanting to have people see the things that you make, but also being afraid of people. So, you know, it's a give and
Yeah.
take.
I hope people create more.
Yes.
I hope
agree
people
with Ripley.
create with their friends and make stuff that they want, even if it's just for them. Create more. Be creative. Explore your passions. Because that's all this is. We just like D&D a lot. And we were like, wouldn't it be fun if we played D&D but for like a podcast? And then we did it. So explore your passions. Do what you think is fun. Make fun stories with your friends. Because it's great experience. I'm gonna get a Chosen Ones tattoo once this campaign's fucking over. So, you know.
I think you said you'd probably pick
When
the
it ends.
purple or the purple logo
Yeah,
from last
the season 3 logo.
Yeah.
It'll probably be without the Chosen Ones on it because
That's
that
fair.
would look weird. But it's gonna
Branding.
be it's gonna be the moon. Yeah. Branding.
You're gonna get Brandy's tattoos on yourself over your whole
Well,
body.
I'm also I'm gonna get all of Brandy's tattoos. Fuck no, are you kidding me? That's insane.
painful.
I am considering also getting a Brandy tattoo, a Brandy related tattoo, but I will get a Chosen Ones one for sure.
Podcast end up with any kind of legacy. When I first joined, I probably would have thought for like a week about my character if I knew that the podcast would get this far.
Yeah, that's fair.
I probably would have been like circling in my room for hours on end, really thinking about the perfect character if I knew.
On the head.
we are,
Perfect
Worked out.
thematically,
yeah.
enjoyability.
We
It's
run
okay.
Chosen Ones to no exaggeration, almost exactly like we run our home games, so things just fell into place. The little tokens that you see on screen, Ripley already made those for our games before, and so then I started doing that for my games. So both of us use those little tokens usually for our games, the chibis. And then we also have apps and sound effects and voice mods and stuff like that in our home games that are private. So it really was just churning what we already do into a public production with a little bit more stuff behind it. Obviously, because I don't do motion backgrounds while we're recording. But mostly everything that happens is exactly how it is when we're recording. And it was like that before we started doing Chosen Ones. So it just fell into place where it was just really nice for a podcast format.
Yeah. So go out, make stories with your friends, become president, do all that stuff.
Yeah, we had a lot of, I at least had a lot of failed projects that are on the back, like, helped us get to this point. I did a lot of projects that I used those skills to then make chosen ones later. So.
And then I'll learn from the chosen one's experience. Whee! Next question.
Did at any point, hold on, let me read that.
Yeah, that's the right one.
Arthur probably does listen to music. He probably listens.
You have to read the question out
sorry.
loud. Fucking fool. Just out of nowhere. Arthur probably did listen to me. Like, you gotta read it for the people, Cassie.
I'm sorry. Someone asked if Arthur listened to music
You
and what
started
kind of
it, and then
music.
you're like,
Sorry. Someone asked if Arthur listened to music and what kind of music he would listen to. And he does. He probably listens to, like, he's a little weird in the sense that it's probably like classical and like lo-fi, like, are his two like go-tos. Classical because it's more from like his time, but lo-fi because obviously he's been all over time and that's probably more relaxing for him.
And also apparently house music based on his fucking when Shui was pressing buttons and that fucking
yeah,
the beat
disco.
dropped in his
Some
lap.
disco
Yeah.
Party music.
The party
Yeah.
music. Zari plugged that in. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's probably the more stereotypical answer, but I haven't like thought about that. So that's off the top of my head. Cassie,
down in my basement.
Cassie, how do you create such brilliant NPCs? Thank you. A lot of them used to be PCs that I changed into characters, which helps them be fleshed out. Or they
Almost
were
all of them, one might argue.
Not almost all of them, I would say. The main ones, though. The big ones.
Well, I mean,
tend to
of
be.
the main ones, yeah.
Like Essence and Titus and Draga and Riddle aren't from anything.
Those brilliant NPCs like Riddle.
But like Estel's from a previous game. Wynn is from a previous game. Peter's actually one of my oldest characters that I still use. But yeah, so
you
like
played him a little bit before, also.
I think I played him in a 2-shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
raise your hand if you think Peter is one fine motherfucker.
But also,
I'm just saying.
Can we get a pog in chat for how fine Peter is?
also a lot of them are NPCs from other games that I've repurposed for this game. So even if they weren't a PC, they were used to kind of give backstory to other things. Like Carmentus wasn't fully formed until this game, even though Slain was in a different game before. Same with Abaddon had been in a different game, but Arthur wasn't made until Chosen Ones when I fleshed them out. I had concepts for who they were, but I didn't have a full backstory for them until Chosen Ones, just kind of floating concepts in my brain. We'll move on, though. Cassie's talking too much for this live stream. What's another fucking Cassie question? So, what's your favorite part about Magic Man? His
Funny
voice.
guy.
He's a funny voice.
He's a funny guy. He's silly.
I like just
Magic Man, he's
being,
funny.
you know, a little bit silly, and it's a bit outside of my comfort zone, honestly, to play him, because he's a lot different than I am as a person. He's kind of, you know, more lighthearted and easygoing, which I'm not. So, so it's
Yeah.
fun to play him because he's so different from me. The next
Yeah, he's
question
funny.
is, did Cassie ever accidentally...
Huh.
In show, I don't know.
I don't know that Cassie has. We definitely probably have at some point, and Cassie's cut it out.
Yes.
Like we've definitely said things where we're like, oh, it's this person, or oh, it's this thing, and
Literally,
Cassie's like, you can't say
in
that.
this one shot, you say something,
Yeah.
Ripley, and I was like, you can't reference that, and you're just like, well, just cut it out. Like,
I don't remember what
and I
said.
can't even make it a blooper because it's a spoiler. So.
Haha, oops. Save it for later.
No,
I
you
don't even
sounded a little
remember.
genuinely mad at me, so I just cut it. Like,
Okay. Well, then there you go. Then cut it out. It's fine.
but yeah, I have said things before out of the game to Ripley by accident.
Yeah. I like
We've
your
just been
jargon,
talking, and I've just been like, blah, 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 important Arthur lore. And Ripley's looked at me and been like, we don't know that, Cassie. And I was like, yeah, no, you do, because about this. And Ripley was like, no, you can't metagame, though. You have to find a way for that
The
to come
best
up
thing.
in the game without me having told you.
Like, it's great living with Cassie because then I can just let them talk for a while, and I will just discover things about the game. And I'll be
I'm
like,
very
okay, putting that away for later.
closed off usually about talking about stuff that isn't out. So if you get me talking too much, that's part of the reason why I'm not super talkative about my projects besides the things that have already come out, is because I am very wary about letting things slip. Ripley's gotten a couple things from that, but not too many. Okay, what's the next thing?
I'm just also a genius and real good at detective work, yeah.
From Bovey, has there ever been a time y'all rewatched an episode and it made you think about something happening in y'all's current session?
Yes, constantly.
Yeah, I
don't
specifically-
understand.
Yeah, literally, we'll be watching live, and then something will happen in a recent episode that you guys are just now like seeing, but it's not, maybe it's not that obvious or that important, and then we're in the background being like, we send each other messages all the time.
We have a theories channel in our private server.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah.
like we have theories channel in like the main Chosen One server for you guys, but we also have one.
I think I've sent before just to show you guys, so that's because it's so funny. Like a huge wall of text of Ripley putting things together and just uncensoring the words that aren't spoilers, and it's just like wall of all spoilers, and then suddenly and wall, but maybe wall, but only if,
Yeah.
and, you know.
Usually I only send things randomly of like something short. I was like, oh, I was kind of thinking about this. Usually they're not correct, but I just be like, just to get it out there.
Ripley is the meme of the guy.
I'm the note taker.
Of the guy
of the
connecting
group.
red strings together and looking like super tired from whatever.
I am Charlie Day from Always Sunny, specifically putting Pepe Sylvia together.
Ripley has fascinated with me with how, because my brain does not work normal in how plots work, and so whenever Ripley gets something, I'm like, I'd never in a million years would have thought that someone would have put that together. Like, she's been in enough of my games now that she can figure things out.
I know how Cassie's brain ticks.
I've
I've accurately predicted several things now.
It ticks incorrectly a lot of the time because I go in very bad paths to be able to reach certain plot points when there's easy answers in front of me that I don't think of, and so the plot gets very complicated.
I'm most proud of putting together that Arthur was Abaddon. Immediately after Abaddon came up for the first time, and then Cassie had to rush to the season 2 finale to make sure, because episode 20 was going to come out with Arthur's talk about time travel and whatnot, and would have made it glaringly obvious for me. Yeah. It was very funny.
I remember I argued with Ripley about that. I was like, "What? Where'd you come up with that?" And Ripley was like, "Look at Abaddon." And I'm like, "I'm looking. I don't see the resemblance." I remember I was like arguing about that.
Fucking knew it.
Oopsie.
Fucking genius.
They have the same snuggie. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess I
was determined to be wrong.
Or I was able to finally put together the pieces with Essence, which took way too long to put that together. I figured out I'm good at this. Oh, I can't say that actually. That hasn't come up yet. I was like, oh, there's another thing, and then I was like, wait, no, that's later.
Almost
anyway.
Timeline that we're currently in, not the main one.
Nope, this is it for the rest of the game. No, I'm just kidding.
We don't know. No, they're talking about the one we're in, not the main timeline. This one that we're in right now for this arc. The like AU side timeline. I feel like No. I feel like it's something that's hard because we didn't plan to do this one originally. Like we kind of did.
Yeah.
But we had to throw it. The idea was like this was a session that we had planned to do for if I needed help getting back into the game because of how many hiatuses that we took, and I did. I have a lot of low confidence issues as a DM, and I didn't feel confident enough to run the main game anymore. And so we did this little AU one shot that was like, you know, lower stakes. We already know that the characters won't, you know, they survive because Avayath and Shui go back. So it was nice. I've also not ever done it. You know, it's like the April Fool's one shot, the Frostmas specials are just kind of done and on a whim, you know. So
I will say for chosen ones, the idea of different timelines is not going to go away for a while. So there's always a possibility of us going to another one at any point.
Yep. Maybe. Who knows? We don't know.
Gotcha.
It's a mystery.
Okay, next question is when will Cassie take everything Avayath loves from him so that he can go to on the Batman Dark Crusader arc he deserves?
Next.
Okay,
Session.
so here's the thing. Cassie's already pretty much taken like everything from Avayath.
What else do you want me to
Like,
take from him?
The only thing that hasn't happened is Avayath, like, as far as we know, Avayath's friends and family aren't dead, but like his whole, his friends are gone away. His parents live off in the mountains. Like, he knows he will never be the chosen one. Like, he's
His religious
lost
beliefs are
everything.
destroyed.
Yeah, his religious belief was destroyed completely. Yeah. His preconceived notions on morality are destroyed. Like, it's just taken from him for the most part.
I mean, I also, as Cassie, know there's more things that we haven't
there's always
yet.
more. You can always take his legs away.
You haven't recorded that, we just don't know. There's always things that are planned for characters later on.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like Jay or Avayath, but like
This man feels unbreakable.
no, it's not just well, true, yes, but also like
He's resilient.
I just want to torment
Goodness.
Avayath / Jay.
Awful.
Avayath is a very tough guy to break as far as my character's
But
go.
like I know he'll get through it. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And
He's strong.
he's
Jay plays
strong.
very resilient characters, both physically and like emotionally.
I
typically.
did so much
Even
to
if they don't
him
seem like
because Avayath is so strong that he needed so much to happen to him for things to sink in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is stubborn.
Yeah, you seem like everything about you leads to you being this really important figure. So the next one is, speaking of where would the mentor go? Hold on, let me read this. And I'll read it out loud again, I swear.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna read it out
I
loud?
would have already read
I'm
it.
a little
I would've-
confused.
Are you
about
reading it out
I'm a
loud,
little
or-
confused about the question.
I think it was done with text to speech, so there was a bit of a translation error here. Speaking of where would the mentor go, there was no room for more than 3 people in the cart.
Oh, I think they're
With
asking
Zyrie?
like how would the mentors have come with us, or like a mentor would have come with us on the trip.
I mean, I
if
would
there
have just
wasn't
made a
room for
bigger
them,
cart. It's not
Yeah,
a big of
we
a
were-
deal.
Either that, or we were just gonna. Well, the original idea for that was we were gonna teleport with Libris. We
Yeah.
were gonna wait 3 days and then teleport, and then that would have completely changed how the arc went. But we just decided we wanted to go on the cart and just go.
Libras being
more
like,
fun,
we
road
shouldn't
trip."
go to the trial for reasons I can't tell you. It's a bad idea, Very
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't go to the trial,
Yeah. Yep.
Because she clearly knows things about Shui, even if he doesn't know things about himself. So.
What?
But yeah, Bigger Dog asks, we know Arthur doesn't need to eat. Is there any specific dish that he would...
Oops. I didn't read the rest of the question.
I honestly haven't thought about that too much. So, like, it's not a question that I'm probably going to answer. Just, sorry. It's like favorite things and stuff like that. And like, does he listen to music and what kind of stuff? It's like, if I don't have a pre-prepped answer, I'm probably not going to say anything because I don't know. Unless it comes up. Because I'll probably forget and say something different in game later if it comes up. So,
Yeah.
Next question is, I am required by law to ask each anniversary, when are the Kenku coming, Cassie? Not this game. It's too early in the world. No Kenku yet.
I'll play Kenku next game. Don't worry.
I'll also play Kenku next game. I think we made
Everyone's
this joke
gonna
before,
play
actually.
Kenkus to put them into the game.
Yeah. Just for you.
Except me.
Except for
Except
Shayna.
Shayna. Villain.
He's
I'm
called
gonna
the
I'm gonna
World
move
Eater,
along
Cassie,
now.
come on.
Yeah, he is called the World Eater, so like
I'm gonna
do
move
with that
along.
what you will.
Well, this implies that he isn't a villain right now. So.
Oh, I sure hope he fucking isn't. 'Cause otherwise, we're fucked.
I sure hope for reasons that we can't say that he's not going to be a villain.
I can't talk much about the Magic Man. I'm sorry, guys.
You sure can't.
So
Not
next,
even we can.
yeah. So the next question is, Cassie, have you ever added something last minute to a campaign? Yeah, all the time. I improv things in the moment all the time that have huge lore implications that I then have to deal with for the rest of the game.
Oops.
You know, it happens. People ask me questions, and then I'm like, this makes sense, I'll just answer this. And it just changes everything, because they're like, oh, if that's true, then this and this and this. And I'm like, I didn't think that far ahead, but I guess that's part of it now. Like,
Oops.
years ago, and what things I thought of in that split second. Because they just all get so ingrained over time in the thing or something that I pre-planned. I say things with so much conviction half the time that unless I'm like, I'll say, then I may have already planned it. I don't know. You know? My memory's bad. The next one is, for the PCs, have you ever thought about switching your characters? Why or why not? And what would you have switched to if you did switch?
No. I mean, so originally when I was entering, I wasn't going to play Brandy. I was actually going to play my character Nico, who was like extremely similar to Avayath. So it is for the best that I didn't go with that character. Because they would have basically been like the same character, if not, Nico's not like as self-confident as Avayath is. But I switched to Brandy last minute because I was talking with Shayna. I was like, what if we just enter Brandy and Theo to this one? And then we did that.
What if we finally did it?
Yeah,
What if we finally
exactly.
played the boys?
Yeah. So, you know, we just decided we wanted to do that. I haven't thought about switching a character out in this game at all since doing that. Brandy's my ride or die. I don't have like a backup PC. If Brandy dies, he dies, and that's it for me.
We can always bring a different Brandy from a different timeline. That would be tragic, honestly, because similarly, I don't have anyone I would rather play right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about switching characters. Hypothetically, if I died, then I guess I'd be willing. There was a moment when Avayath found out who Brandy was. We're allowed to say spoilers on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the
Big bringer. I thought about attacking Brandy and being like, I gotta switch characters now. He was gonna go like all out on him, but then I was like, let me think of an alternative. I discussed with everyone like, okay, how should we handle this? I want to talk with everybody and like figure this out.
You can
Because that
read
would
me anyway.
be okay. Because that would have been a lot if I went with that.
Yeah. That would have been not fun.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to say we've been going for about 2.5-ish hours now, so I'd say we should do another 30 and then probably call it.
Okay, doke.
So I'm just putting those feelers out there. So at like 9:45 p.m. CST, we'll probably start to wrap it up.
Okie doke.
Then continue.
I didn't have anyone like in particular that I mean. So playing Shui's fun. He's you know really excitable. He brings a lot of energy, and it makes me happy to play him. Because like the low energy, but then I'm like, oh, I'm playing Shui though, and Shui's so high energy. So it's like like I have to like channel Shui, and then I like kind of so it's nice to like lighten my own mood, I guess, when I play Shui. Where I'm just like, damn, I wish I played someone who was like actually a bit more serious. Not that Shui doesn't have like his serious moments or anything. It's but like. I don't know, I want to play a cool character is what I think sometimes, but I love to actually go through with it.
Yeah,
I do love and would prefer to continue playing Shui. Though if he died, I'm playing Ibishu, I'm just saying. I say as if they're separate people, but you know whatever.
Ibishu's like, finally, fucking tenant moved out.
Yeah, the thing with switching characters that I always feel like I need to get to the end of my character's character arc at the very least before switching. Like, before switching Avayath, I would have to reach that point where he becomes more accepting of necromancy, or else I wouldn't be satisfied.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I don't like switching characters early on.
Usually people enter games with kind of ideas of how they want their characters to improve, or grow in some way. Not always improve, usually, but not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We have a story we want to tell too sometimes.
Yep.
Let me look here. Where are we? Oh. Let me read this again. It's a one-shot where Chosen One Draga calls upon the gang for help possible. I mean, anything's possible. Maybe we'll make that one of the milestone rewards for the next Ko-fi drive for the last season finale, or for the series, like, the last season of the series.
You good?
I can't speak words.
Cassie's getting there.
Let me talk until it comes out.
Maybe a goal for the next Ko-fi drive.
Yeah, because we already have to do, which I know it may not seem like we're working on stuff in the background, but I every single day have a huge list of things that I have to do. And every single day I sadly move them to the next day because I run out of time and have to rewrite them all to the next day on my planner. So I am very aware of the things that we have to do for the last Ko-fi drive. It's just, it's busy, and especially while we're still on a weekly schedule, it's really hard to get to things and work on things. So we still need to do the community voted one shot from last time.
Yep. Got a few rewards we still need to do.
Are we ever going to know about Wynn and Flynn's relationship? Maybe. I mean, we do know, just because some people always miss this moment, that they are technically a part of the same family, but we also know that Flynn is adopted. So we do know from that Wynn is probably more important than he may seem, even as a chosen one. But yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
But yeah.
Their names rhyme.
Their names rhyme. That's why they're family. Wynn and Flynn. Okay. But yeah, Flynn is adopted into the family. So.
Yep.
But he did call Wynn cousin. And so from there, it says, will there be a season 5 or a season 4 of the finale? There is a season 5. I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
This one is too long. It's probably going to be, I would guess, in the 50s to possibly 60s for episode count. It's a big one.
But it's really good.
It's really good.
Really,
We're gonna have to have like a mid-season finale, like a season 4 part 1 fucking Attack on Titan bullshit.
We're doing the Attack on Titan thing.
Season 4 part 1,
the finale,
final chapter,
part 2.
the finale part 2. Like literally, you'll see.
This season just has so many moments that are so hype and so exciting. Like, I'll just be thinking about Chosen Ones, and I'll think about something that hasn't come out yet, and I'll be like, oh man, I can't wait until we get to that. But that's like 10 sessions away, which is many episodes. So
Yeah.
Usually one session can translate anywhere from 2 episodes if it's a short one. That's really rare though. To up to 5 or 6 if it's a long one for one session episode count. So I think there's like, I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna look to see how many sessions there are.
Session 46 or 47.
We're at session 46 right now, but I'm looking for the season. It started at.
It starts with one thing.
Session 31 is the start of this season, and it goes up to. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm still going. Oh, I'm still going. It goes up to session 45. So that's, how many is that? 31.
That is, yeah.
it's like 14.
Yeah, it's like 14.
Yeah, and then also another 2 sessions on top of that, so 16 for this season, because of the one shot that we added on to the beginning that we're doing right now. So to put that into perspective, the first season of the show that was 34 episodes was 9 sessions.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. So it's gonna be a lot.
But it'll be worth it to wait for some of this stuff that happens. It's like
It sure
it
will.
still makes my heart pound just remembering some of the things some of the characters said.
Yeah, season 4 is like the most like holy shit everything's happening season that we've had so far.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. The next question here is, what would Wynn appear as in the keep if he could? He'd be a golden retriever. I feel fine answering that because he can't. He can't physically go there. He'd be a golden retriever if he could go to the keep.
Figure out a way one day. We'll figure out a way to get Wynn there
They
someday.
always have something different about them. So it'd probably be like a golden retriever with like a nose ring and his hair
Hell
on top of it.
yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah. Funny doggy.
see, I did think tusks, but that feels too obvious. So I don't know. I don't know what I would actually go with.
Just a funny doggy with, the slightly bigger teeth. I mean,
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Sometimes I don't like to go the obvious route, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, and it also doesn't matter. So,
You
Yeah.
made Brandy a wolf.
Yeah.
I said sometimes I don't like to go the obvious route.
Sometimes.
I do still think it's funny that Titus was a rainbow frog, but you know.
Fucking gay frog.
Someone asked, where did you get all your inspirations for the characters and their stories? They're also intricate. A lot of it is just the way that D&D works, because it's a slow burn and a slow build up. Things that may seem really small on paper to me end up being a big reveal later because it took 5 seasons for it to happen. So it, like, if you explain any story on paper, things are going to be more or less complex than they actually play out. Just because you're summarizing things. So when I'm writing my bullet points of notes and setting up a campaign and stuff and foreshadowing things, I just hope that it reads as, well set up and well thought out. But a lot of it's improv. So, I'm just at the mercy of how the game goes for if it's going to read well as a story. This isn't just me writing and I have full control. I have players, who are experiencing the story. So. And I just have good players. So.
You're gay. Anybody who knows Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood will understand me when I say Brandy was inspired by Hohenheim, partially. So anybody who's watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood will instantly understand. Brandy has a few inspirations, but like Hohenheim is a character that I really enjoy from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I feel like it was funny because when I told my roommate that, when they had first started the show, they were like, "Oh God, what has Brandy done?" And I was like, "Haha, just wait, you'll see." I don't know. A lot of character like inspiration and stuff just comes from consuming media, and like just taking inspiration from all the things that you consume. Like I watch like a lot of. When I was younger, at least, I consumed a lot of like anime specifically, or like online content. So a lot of that has like dictated my taste in characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it's also unconscious. I usually am not consciously like, I'm gonna rip this thing off, or I'm gonna take that. It's it's not usually on purpose for me, which is why when people are like, what's the inspiration by this and this? Unless I've, really thought about it, a lot of the times I'm just making things that I think are cool, and I don't always register where it came from. Obviously, everything is a remix of things. I probably got the idea from somewhere. I just can't remember where, I'm not a genius. I don't come up with ideas from thin air. They come from something. I just don't remember. So
It's about how you remix your ideas into something original.
basically, literally half the plots and things that we do, I'm just like, this would be cool, and I would have a good time. And if I'm having a good time, I would hope other people are having a good time, and then I do it,
Yeah, we've answered this question a few times. I just thought it seems like there's some people who haven't always, been here for the other Q&As and stuff, but we do talk about it on our Discord.
Yeah. And obviously we
about,
like
like,
talking
what
about it
characters.
because we didn't skip it. We answered it again.
Yeah. we really love that question because we love the things that inspire us. So, yeah, if it wasn't obvious, Theo has, Red Riding Hood, The Wizard of Oz, some stuff like that. Surprisingly, not anime is what inspired Theo, but I like fairy tales and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do also have
obviously.
dreams that I work and pull from too sometimes. I write down my dreams and use those in plots sometimes. And obviously that probably comes from something that I just truly don't know, because there's nothing better remix than a dream that makes no sense. So, I don't know where that stuff comes from.
And
there was-
obviously, Avayath is inspired by All Might, and Shui's inspired by Tanjiro.
You're not wrong about Avayath. Avayath's main inspirations are actually Reinhardt from Overwatch and Ned Flanders.
Oh, I did want to say, just because we're talking about inspos, and there is a very obvious one that I took inspiration from, for me at least. The Keep is based on, again, because things are taken from Avatar in some places, the spirit world in Avatar, which I think someone's asked me where the idea for the Keep came from before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like you guys being able to interact and talk to gods in a more safe, quote-unquote, setting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Understandable.
And then...
Shui was there wasn't like anything specific that inspired Shui. Ripley will say Tanjiro, but
It was Tanjiro.
I like recently watched the newer season of Demon Slayer, and I'm like, actually they're not that similar. I was like, Tanjiro is way like Shui's way too chaotic.
Yeah, he's far more chaotic than Tanjiro for sure.
But anyway, yeah,
Inosuke.
Shui. I think what inspired Shui, how I play him, is like different archetypes. He's more of like a blend than like any one specific character. Definitely, like I kind of was inspired, but like Pokemon. I don't know if I've ever actually said this because I'm embarrassed. LOL. But
It's okay. I also hold back on some of Theo's inspirations.
Hey, I admitted that Arthur and Abaddon, arguably the most
Based
like,
off Danny Phantom
yeah,
and Evil
the
Danny Phantom.
scariest character in the show is based off Evil Danny Phantom. So,
Hell yeah.
but like like Ash, like a lot of the, not just from the anime, just from some of the video games too. It reminds me of like a Pokemon.
he's very
main
shonen
character.
protagonist. So,
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
like the shonen protagonist vibes is what I was going for with Shui. So all your favorites, that's Shui.
All your favorites.
Okay, next question.
someone asked how much farther ahead have you guys recorded compared to the episodes released?
100.
No.
7,000.
We are up to 48 right now in our recordings.
Mhm.
So that is 1, 2, 3 sessions into this final season. So we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, so 40, yeah, we're at 48 sessions, and with the episode releasing, that's like 17 sessions ahead of where the like episodes releasing are. We're a season ahead of you all. Like, to put that into perspective,
Like a full season.
like a full entire season ahead of you all. Like,
And
we
our
will be done
longest
with the
season ever.
show. We will likely be done with the, like, not to put any like end date on it, but we will likely be done with the show by the time that the end of season 4 is coming out. Like, we'll be done recording it probably,
Yeah.
assuming all things go well.
Yeah, because we're still recording right now, and we don't know how long this last season is going to do. I'm trying to both give it the air it needs to breathe, but also speed it up, because we have been playing this game for 3 years. More than 3, like 3.5.
Whee!
3.5 for us, because we started recording in January of 2020.
This is the anniversary of the release date.
Yeah, this is the anniversary of the
Yeah.
release date, of the original release date before the remasters. Shout out to those who have been here since the remasters, the dark era, where I had to go on hiatus to remaster the first 20 episodes that had copyrighted music.
Because we use copyrighted music. Yeah, wee.
I don't know why I was so fucking stupid. Because the first time we did a podcast, I did non-copyrighted music. When I made like a motion graphic for myself, like a motion show, I used non-copyrighted music. And then for Chosen Ones, I was like, no, we're going to put 21 Pilots in here. And that's going to be fine. And
Oh my goodness. I didn't even remember that.
literally
Funny thing is,
everything
though,
else I have made has had royalty-free music. I don't know why when we first started Chosen Ones, I was like, fuck all that shit. I want to just test fate. And also a lot of those episodes are blocked now. The original episodes are gone. So we did do a good thing in
Yep.
terms of re-releasing.
When Shui had his concert, I gave Cassie like some songs to play, like a song or something to play. And I was like, okay, well, here's this song, and I made sure it's copyright free. Cassie was like, why? You don't have to do that.
Oh, you
Yeah,
poor
because I thought I
fool.
was gone
Oh,
and that we would be fine.
Cassie, you're so silly.
Cassie was like, nah, don't worry about it. Like, what
I
do
was
you
like,
mean?
nah, don't worry about it. I got Lady Gaga on my speed dial. We can use her music. Like, no. Now I either pay for music. I have an Envato subscription, which is like $200 or $300 a year that I also use for work, which is just useful. So I use a lot of resources that I use for my job as well to make Chosen Ones. So I get music from that. I get music from Free Music Archive. If you ever want to know the music, even in the live stream right now, all of our music is always linked in the description for the episodes and whatever we're doing. So, yep.
Next question.
Would you all play a campaign in a different RPG system, and have you? We, not for a podcast, obviously have, but
Not
we've
for podcast, but
we've
we have
played other
games.
systems. We always come back to D&D. Cassie brain bad, and
It's
I
what
would
we know the best.
I would need a lot of confidence to run another system. We still aren't 100% solid on what the second game's going to be, if it's going to be D&D or not, unless they do something
Heinous.
really
Again.
bad again. It's hard to say because you just don't know what's going to happen. They
And
backpedaled
even
a lot.
then, yeah.
It's hard for our group, not our whole group, but some of us. It's just me. I will say it's very difficult for me to learn new systems and feel confident running it on a public platform. So
I'm just gonna create the Chosen One's branded TTRPG, and then you guys won't have to worry about it.
Okay, dokie. Next question: has Avayath ever used one of his feathers as a quill?
No, he's dumb as fuck. He's not clever enough to think about that. He will buy a feather even though he has one on his back.
He will buy a feather. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
But
Who's
Shui's
y'all's
probably
favorite
because-
NPC? We don't have to do super detailed with this because I feel like we've probably answered it before.
Yeah, we've answered it before. I remember my answer. My answer was Peter.
Peter.
Win is kind of tied now for me.
Yeah, Win is pretty good.
Mine's Arthur.
Yeah, it's Arthur. I was gonna say Ripley's answer was Arthur.
Yeah, I fucking hate Arthur, but Arthur's the most interesting character to me.
As a character, yeah.
I mean, I don't even hate Arthur as a character. Like, I don't even hate him. I just say that I do. I like Arthur a lot. He's a very interesting character.
Fun.
He's fun to
Season
mess
four.
with.
He's a very fun character.
So season 4 will introduce another character that I feel like is gonna be a fan favorite.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
yeah.
Oh my god.
They're-
Are you
the
talking
character
about what
introduces.
I think?
Yeah, they're extremely fun. You'll see.
I was gonna type it in
You'll
chat,
see
but
how
then I
much-
was like, I don't want someone to be like, and say it out loud. So I
Yeah, you'll see
You'll
how
have to
much
say it after.
we like them because of future episodes. They're very
yeah,
fun.
I feel like they come more into their own in season 5, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah, you will definitely have to say it because I'm a little lost. But anyway, my favorite NPC, well, I do love Peter. I love Win. It's really hard to choose. I have grown to love Arthur, and I already loved Zyrie before
Yeah.
Chosen Ones. Obviously, if you heard the blooper, or was it in the game? I can't remember. I
It
think
was
it's
a
blooper, right?
It was a
blooper,
blooper, I believe.
because
Yeah, it was.
it would have been
Didn't wanna make it
weird
obvious.
at the time. So it was a blooper. Although it's very obvious when Zyrie comes into the game that you guys kind of know him.
Yeah.
What?
So when
No.
when Zyrie was revealed to be planned to be in the game, we didn't know this. It was just I asked something and it's the answer was Zyrie in game, and I just had to scream because I already loved him. I have to say he's one of my favorites.
My relationship with Zyrie is a bit unique. He gets on my goddamn nerves.
Yeah.
He was not nice to you in a previous game, so
He was not nice to you.
I
he's also
understand
not
it.
really nice to you in this game. Like,
No.
but he
He
was
is not nice
really
to
not
us.
nice to you in the last game. So
Yeah.
He's not nice, but I love him anyway. I'm sorry about it, but I can't stop loving him.
Shayna loves grumpy, gruff men.
Ugh.
Because he's up here talking about he loves my character. They're family, so I'm not. Stop. But anyway,
that's a different
but
campaign
then-
than Zen just talked about.
yeah.
So
yeah, different. But he did all this fucked up shit, and I'm like, really, bitch? Do you?
Knock it off then.
yeah, Yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, they know a little bit about how Zyrie's spark developed, but we won't learn about that for a long time. So,
Yeah, you'll see eventually. Anyway.
okie dokie. What's the next one? It's been said Chosen Ones is very anime. Oh, also my favorite NPC is Arthur. It's been said
I mean,
Chosen
yeah.
Ones is very anime. We've had a Hot Springs ep arc. We're gonna have a festival one shot. Will we get a beach episode? I don't
We
know.
already had the beach episode. It was green flower.
Yeah,
I mean, it was all green flower. We had the beach episode. It was green flower. Did you like it?
Did you? I think they
hope you
mean like
liked it.
swimsuit, kind of like on the beach, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe, you know, like a
It's a beach
traditional anime
episode.
beach episode. It's kind of like, I don't
I
know.
don't know, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
That'll be a one shot.
That'll be for our
I
next
mean,
Kofi Drive one. We just
technically-
keep pushing everything off.
Technically, with something that I have planned, it'll kind of be a beach episode, sort of.
Okay. For the one shot
Ooh,
that
I
you're
guess
doing.
we'll see.
Okay. Well, I guess if we're just for the one shot I'm doing a
We've
one
talked
shot.
about the fact that you're doing a one shot
I don't know what
multiple
you're talking
times
about.
in server.
Nope. I'm doing a one shot for the game. Not for the obviously not for the normal PCs because, like, you know, I can't play Brandy and also be DMing, but I'm gonna DM a one shot. It's gonna be Shui focused because of jokes we keep making. So it's going to be Shui focused, and it'll be beach focused, sort of, a little bit, mostly. You'll see.
Beach.
Yeah, you'll have a beach episode, kind of.
Someone
not really.
asked, does Avayath molt?
Ew. No, I hope not.
His wings are holy angel wings. I don't think they molt.
I don't think angels molt.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, at least.
I'm not super savvy on the Bible, but I don't remember angels molting.
Mm.
So someone asked if you have to have a traumatic experience to get a spark. Was Avayath traumatized by the king holding him and his spark activated?
That would freak out a baby, I imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, he was being taken away from his mom.
That was
essentially.
supposed
Like,
to be what the like traumatic experience was.
Yeah.
It because of the way that Jay played the baby version of him, it kind of feels a little bit like Slane jumped the gun and like, you know, jumped in before the traumatic experience fully happened, but it was like happening. It was like Avayath was being taken away from his parent. As you can see in another timeline, his parents, something happened where they had either agreed to it or they weren't there anymore. And Avayath was taken away. And he has the same exact spark, pretty much. Pretty much exactly the same. So, you know.
The trauma is Larkspur taking Avayath. That
Being taken away
weasel
from
fuck.
your family, basically.
Yeah.
Well, but Jay was playing a baby, so, you know.
Jay was
Goo
playing
goo
a
gaga.
baby. It's true.
All right, well, we've only got about 2 minutes left, and our chat is clear. So I think that's a good time to start wrapping
I have a
up.
question.
Okay.
Last question. What can we expect to see come season 4? What are you most anticipating? We obviously don't say spoilers, but like a vague answer. What sounds chewy stuff? That's fair. Understandable.
I mean, that's fair for you, Zen.
There's a lot of character moments foreshadowed in the opening. Those are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, there are lots of character moments in the opening.
Yeah, I would say one of the most things that I'm looking forward to does involve Shui, and when it happens, everyone's gonna flip. Everyone's gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So it's just something so like, I can't believe that just happened.
Mhm.
Like we were screaming in real life. So
Yeah.
it when it happens, I'm so excited.
Cassie had me fucked up.
And that moment may or may not be in the opening or ending, so.
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Who knows? It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for where things go. I'm so excited. I don't have specific moments. I mean, I guess there are specific moments technically. I'm so excited for literally everything that's going to happen after this one arc is done. Because it is like almost immediate that shit starts hitting the fan. So I'm very excited about
Yeah,
that.
once we get started, because I know
We have a little bit of
once
spa
the
time
season
left.
starts.
There's
yeah.
not. That's not a spoiler to say. They haven't
Yeah.
left the spa, obviously. So there's a little bit of spa time left
Yeah.
before things start kicking off. So
But after that,
Yeah.
then bam, 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 we it don't stop
Yeah,
coming.
It's literally
It's
nonstop.
wild.
I will
Literally,
say I'm
you will
very
see.
excited for how relationships change and develop throughout this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I also can't wait for that
Mhm.
for my own reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sad and happy.
But
Yep,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
going to be super good, and
We-
you guys are gonna love it
we are
for sure.
at the mark that I set for us for we've been going about 3 hours. We never hit the 2 hour mark. I'm like, we aim for it, but we also had technical problems.
Yep, we sure did.
So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I'm happy we were able to get some episodes out before we started this live stream just to revive the channel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
Thanks y'all for stopping by. Go support the Patreon if you want to see all the bonus content and see some, like thumbnails early and bloopers.
Yeah,
and
not to
a
like
super
downsell it, but
special
you
secret
get
thing.
a ton just at the $1 tier.
You sure do. You
Yeah,
really should
also-
go.
Speaking of the $1 tier, even at the $1 tier, there is a big secret that patrons know and aren't allowed to say.
Yeah.
It's been going on for about a year and it's almost ready. I would
And it's
say by the
insane.
end of this year, it could be ready.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it, and a lot of us are. So that secret project is available to see what's going on at the $1 tier, and it has to be a secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
That's fun,
excited.
yeah.
I'm so excited for stuff coming out. We got so many things kind of planned that we're trying to do and get started. We're doing more TikTok stuff. Go follow us on TikTok.
Go follow us on TikTok.
I make a TikTok
Hit
like
that
literally
fucking
almost every single day,
bell.
pretty much every day. If I miss a day, it's because I'm tired.
Yep,
But yeah,
yep.
follow our side channel. We're gonna do Chosen Ones chats.
Yeah.
So if you like live streams like this, there's gonna be more content over there like this.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
we're slowly trying to generate ideas for what we want to do more outside of just the podcast alone. We want to like build out what we're doing with Chosen Ones, because we all really care about it and are very like invested in it, and we just want more Chosen Ones content, in general.
Yeah, I feel like
We
there was
are its
something-
biggest fans.
Truly.
I feel like there was something I wanted to say, and I'm losing my thought now. It's gonna make me mad when we end the stream and I remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always join our Discord for more talks and conversations as well. We push that a lot, but I'm pretty active. I'm the number one member on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And there's like a little Ask the Cast area where we answer questions sometimes. We don't answer questions if they aren't answered in the show typically, so
Yep, you'll get a lot of who knows.
yeah, who knows? But yeah, I wish I could remember what it was. Maybe it was just go to the side channel for Chosen Chats. Maybe that was what I was thinking of, but it felt like something else. Oh well.
Perhaps.
Oh well. We had a request to say goodbye in character.
Yeah.
So I guess that's how we'll close out the stream. And everyone give it a sec for us to actually end, or else we'll all say goodbye in character and then we'll be like, okay guys, so like
We gotta go down the line and say see you soon, fellow Sparks. But Cassie, you have to do it last because you're the DM.
okay.
So we gotta go Avayath, Brandy,
Yeah.
Shui, Theo.
We're Chosen
Sure.
Ones D&D on TikTok. Our link tree is in the description of all of our videos and should be in the description of this live stream. If it's not yet, it will be when it's over.
Yeah.
See you soon, fellow Sparks.
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 See you soon, fellow Sparks. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.